What makes lovemaking and reading resemble each other most is that within both of them times and space is open, different from measurable time and space. Myth is the hidden part of every story, the buried part, the region that is still unexplored because there are as yet no words to enable us to get there. Myth is nourished by silence as well as by words. A classic is a book that has never finished saying what it has to say. It is not the voice that commands the story, it is the ear. The satirist is prevented by repulsion from gaining a better knowledge of the world he is attracted to, yet he is forced by attraction to concern himself with the world that repels him. Traveling, you realize that differences are lost, each city takes to resembling all cities, places exchange their form, order, distances, a shapeless dust cloud invades the continents. Novels as dull as dishwater, with the grease of random sentiments floating on top. Falsehood is never in words, it is in things. The word connects the visible trace with the invisible thing, the absent thing, the thing that is desired or feared, like a frail emergency bridge flung over an abyss. I have tried to remove weight, sometimes from people, sometimes from heavenly bodies, sometimes from cities. Above all, I have tried to remove weight from the structure of stories and from language. Biographical data, even those recorded in the public registers, are the most private things one has, and to declare them openly is rather like facing a psychoanalyst. In love, as in gluttony, pleasure is a matter of the utmost precision. Your first book is the only one that matters. Perhaps a writer should write only that one. That is the one moment when you make the big leap, the opportunity to express yourself is offered that once, and you untie the knot within you then or never again. Reading is going towards something that is about to be, and no one yet knows what it will be. The ideal place for me is the one in which it is most natural to live as a foreigner. The catalogue of forms is endless. Until every shape has found its city, new cities will continue to be born. When the forms exhaust their variety and come apart, the end of cities begins. The human race is a zone of living things that should be defined by tracing its confines. The struggle of literature is in fact a struggle to escape from the confines of language. It stretches out from the utmost limits of what can be said. What stirs literature is the call and attraction of what is not in the dictionary. The unconscious is the ocean of the unsayable, of what has been expelled from the land of language, removed as a result of ancient prohibitions. The things that the novel does not say are necessarily more numerous than those it does say, and only a special halo around what is written can give the illusion that you are reading also what is not written. Memory's images, once they are fixed in words, are erased. In the midst of a thick forest, there was a castle that gave shelter to all travelers overtaken by night on their journey, lords and ladies, royalty and their retinue, humble wayfarers. I am prisoner of a gaudy and unlivable present, where all forms of human society have reached an extreme of their cycle and there is no imagining what new forms they may assume. It's better not to know authors personally because the real person never corresponds to the image you form of him from reading his books. The body is a uniform, the body is armed militia, the body is violent action, the body claims power, the Bodis at war, the body declares itself subject, the body is an end and not a means, the body signifies, communicates, shouts, protests, subverts. A classic is the term given to any book which comes to represent the whole universe, a book on a par with ancient talismans. That wish to enter into an elusive element which had urged Cosimo into the trees was still working now inside him unsatisfied, making him long for a more intimate link, a relationship which would bind him to each leaf and twig and feather and flutter. Today each of you is the object of the other's reading, one reads in the other the unwritten story. The more enlightened our houses are, the more their walls ooze ghosts. Who are we, who is each one of us, if not a combinatoria of experiences, information books we have read, things imagined? Each new Clarice compact as a living body with its smells and its breath shows off like a gem what remains of the ancient Clarices, fragmentary and dead. Nobody these days holds the written word in such high esteem as police states do. Although science interests me just because of its efforts to escape from anthropomorphic knowledge, I am nonetheless convinced that our imagination cannot be anything but anthropomorphic. You are about to begin reading Italo Calvino's new novel, If on a Winter's Night a Traveler. They knew each other. He knew her and so himself, for in truth he had never known himself. And she knew him and so herself, for although she had always known herself she had never been able to recognize it until now. He was staring hard not at his wife and me but at his daughter watching us. In his cold pupil, in the firm twist of his lips, was reflected Madame Miyagi's orgasm reflected in her daughter's gaze. The city, however, does not tell its past, but contains it like the lines of a hand. You take delight not in a city's 7 or 70 wonders, but in the answer it gives to a question of yours. Well, make an army in the trees and bring the earth and the people on it to their senses. Italo Calvino.